breakfast all alone. Fewer dishes to be done. I'm never running behind. You're never on my mind. No longer there to make me comb my hair, fix my tie, or kiss me goodbye. Swear I'm happy on my own. No one to worry where I am. Oh, waiting for me to come home.
I don't mind saying I roll out of bed and I roll up. Ooh, stretch my back and legs. Well, now what did the younger me become? I make some coffee and a plan, and I decide on oats and eggs. Blow my cares away. Ooh, prepares me for the things that come. Yeah, beautiful morning, keeping me alive when the darkness comes. Ooh, that kind of a morning. It's the natural feeling that will make it through. And I have barely begun moving as I am out through seas unknown. Don't break no promises, sing in a key that your body believes. Ooh, I'm making my way out of the city. I need more time in the garden. Beautiful morning, keeping me alive when the darkness comes. Ooh, that kind of a morning. It's the natural feeling
hungry for the road all my life, thirsty for adventure all my youth, chasing all my freedoms down Liberty Avenue. And every time I hear a phrase my mother used to say to me, everything happens for a reason, I get the feeling I need a little taste of home, 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 just a little taste of home. I need a little taste of home, home, home. I need a little taste of home. Nothing like kitchen conversation, steam coming up off the stove, photographs down the staircase showing our stories unfold. And every time I hear a song my father used to sing to me, sweet words of an Irish lullaby, I get the feeling I need a little taste of home, home, home. I need a little taste of home. Home, 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 just a little taste of home. I need a little taste of home,
with the golden bell across the room, laughing over wine, losing track of time. That should be me. Oh, that should be me. With my arm wrapped around her waist, dancing through the night, dizzy with delight. That should be me. Lavishing you with ruby rings and diamonds too. Sail across the ocean blue, making all of our dreams come true.
go on without you. Let me go on. Oh, how the night gives way to the dawn. We were the dew on the morning lawn. Our love was beautiful, but now it's gone. Our love was beautiful, but now it's gone.
Too hard about it. Always came naturally to me. Never put a foot out of line, and I tried not to make any awkward statements. Always tried to be a good neighbor, waiting for the right time to speak. Now it seems the tables are smashed into tiny little pieces. I only wanted slice of the pie. And all my time in this town, never thought I'd see the day you and I would come to blows. Think I'm gonna keep it that way. We don't have to think the same way to celebrate and dance until the dawn. It's always been a puzzle, I guess. So let's break a little bread and remember what I said. Come on. In all my time in this town, never thought I'd see the day you and I would come to blows. Think I'm gonna keep it that way. Never thought too hard about it. Always came naturally to me. Never put a foot out of line, and I tried not to make any awkward statements. Always tried to be a good neighbor, waiting for the right time to speak. Now it seems the tables are smashed into time.